What's going on, everybody? We are back here with another video. So this is actually taking place like right after a video that you guys might see before this one. Or yeah, I just might upload this one first or something like that. But yeah, this one is not very um it wasn't too roll right after or something like that. But I wanted to talk about something kind of weird today. So if you guys actually watched my recent video, talking about the interesting thing that's going on in my life right now, I actually wanted to follow up on that video and just kind of talk about it a little bit because um I've been needing to to talk about it, to get it off my chest and just try to you know, just just try to talk about it. But if you guys watched it, you guys kind of know how this all started and all that sort of stuff. And so, recently, um, it's been a week. This weekend, it's Sunday, so we're gonna be starting another week. But, yeah, it's been about a week, like maybe 8 days or something like that. Um, 10 days. Well, no, yeah, no, about 8 days. This Friday, and I just kind of wanted to touch up on it. So since I've uploaded that video, this girl has been in my mind nonstop. I've always told people online that I've never had, I never fallen in love, but I've never have met a girl that I've like fell over heels for, that somebody who almost drove me fucking crazy. But this girl actually has kind of been driving me fucking crazy. I'm not trying to make an effort to think about her. What as crazy as it sounds, but for some reason, ever since that she engaged with me, like she has been on my mind nonstop. It's like she's just there, like she, she's always on my mind. She's always, you know, it's just like she's just there, and I'm trying to keep this, watch different videos, just trying to just to get her out of my fucking head, and it just hasn't been working. Like I will be laying there watching a video and everything like that, and it just feels different. Um, and it's just like she's on my mind. She's on my mind right fucking now. And it just feels like that she's like here with me. Like it's crazy to it's hard to explain, to be honest with you. But yeah, she's been in my head almost non fucking stop since since she's engaged with me, and she's actually shown a lot of signs of interest, but I really haven't engaged in it. Um, engaged onto it because I really don't know how to react to it, and so oh, there's a little bit left in this one. Cool. So I really don't know how to react to it, and most of me, I'm a shy dude, and it's hard for me to talk about. But what a lot of what the fuck, a lot of times, I don't engage in like trying to. I think that's coming from the ashtray. Jesus, I don't engage with women as much because I'm always like, I'm in a curveball in my life. Like I currently, have no card. I can't keep a job for over a year, and I just don't want to disappoint anybody. And so that goes, just to the whole thing that this girl is showing that she likes me and everything like that. But I really haven't, responded or engaged onto it. because I just don't want to, go through that kind of bullshit again. But there's also another thing that I've been noticing. You know how, from the rules of the worlds and everything like that, um, that women have this fucking thing that a women always has options. That's the fucked up part. Now, she could be, talking to, some other people and everything like that, but they have you as a backup plan. And that's what's been kind of, that's what I've been kind of thinking about recently. Because I've had been seeing the signs of that kind of shit. Because I've told my friends, well, my coworker that I'm currently working with, like, you have to give me a reason to give a fuck about you. Like, that is one of the things that I like to say to people. Like, it, if you fuck with me, you fuck with me. If you don't, just kind of leave me the fuck alone. Um, and so that's how it's been kind of been. And she really hasn't putting in any kind of effort to actually kind of talk to me. She has been a little bit, sometimes, like I was saying in the last video, that we are at work, we still do have to do our jobs, and sometimes she does, kind of, um make that time to, kind of talk to me and everything like that. But it really hasn't been much of an effort to, it's surface level conversation, small talk, and all that sort of shit. And nothing hasn't really, flew off. And that's what I kind of, noticed recently, is that, it's kind of been one sided. I've been kind of trying to engage with her a little bit and everything like that, but, she hasn't really done the same. And, when that doesn't happen, the interest starts dying. And, that's what's kind of happening now is, people can, be head over heels for somebody for, a couple weeks or something like that. But, if something doesn't happen, the interest dies. And basically, I think that's what's happening, because I think she's been, starting to engage with somebody else that she always has to work with. And so she's been, really, talking to this dude recently. And um that's that whole thing. And she's always hanging out with this other dude, during, sometimes she has to work with him. She's always sitting with him at, lunch or break times when she's at break or something like that. And, I've kind of noticed that, and it's been kind of putting me off a little bit. And so that's how it is. Like, I've told my person, like, it's okay to fucking, to communicate and talk with other people, but when you're into somebody, you don't want to leave the wrong impression. Um, and so that's what's, been kind of happening. And now I've all over my YouTube feed, all over my shit, like, I've been getting a lot of these videos of, tarot card readings, or, I'm going back to my fucking 17-year-old self, looking online and fucking reading online and watching fucking videos, how to fucking decipher a woman's fucking psychology of, being attracted to a dude. And so that's always been fun. And my fucking feed is fucked from that. And so I've been trying to, switch it up a little bit so I can get those videos out of my fucking feed, because it's been driving me fucking crazy. And so I really, I really don't know how to, do it, but I'm starting to come with terms, right now, that I don't think nothing's going to flourish, from this, type of thing. She's always, she's always looks at me. She always tries to, um, make the time to, have small talk with me. But that's all it's ever been, in this past week and a half. It's just, small talk and surface level talk. It hasn't just, it really hasn't took off. And I've had this happen to me once or twice before. in the last couple of years, and I just kind of wrote it off because I never can keep a job. I can never, I don't have a car. I do have my license, but I just don't have a car. I just don't want to invest my time in something that's probably not going to work out. And so now that I have an idea about how this girl works, um, there's also another thing that my mom and my brother were, they picked me up from work on Friday prior to this video, and they said she was on the phone with somebody, smiling, laughing, and instantly when that goes in my head, like, oh, she probably already has somebody, or she's already starting to talk to somebody. And that comes into being an option. I do not fuck with any type of love triangle, and I do not fuck with being a second fucking option, because that tells you everything about your self-worth. That women have options and dudes don't. Like, that's just how it works. And she could be talking to like 5-6 other fucking dudes, and here you are working with her, and she's just testing the waters. Now, I do not fucking care that a woman wants to play psychology fucking mind games, or wants to test you or some shit like that. That's some fucking bullshit. Like, like I said, like, if you fuck with me, you fuck with me. And if you like me, you fucking tell me you like me. If you don't, if you're not interested in me, fucking tell me so I don't waste time. And that's how it should be. And any woman who actually comments on this video, or if it makes its fucking rounds, it's the truth. Fucking most of us dudes can't even fucking pick up on that shit. Most of the time we just think you're fucking friendly to us, not actually trying to be flirty. Because there's really no difference in between a chick being flirty and a chick being friendly. And so us guys can't fucking decipher the fucking difference. And so it's hard. Now, I actually saw a post someone made recently that how when will it be until a woman gives up on a dude or something like that? And I've told these people, like, it could be close to a month before you give up on them. Because especially if you're two people who don't know each other and just met, you guys have to be used to each other. You have to get used to each other. And and if you're like genuinely into that fucking person, things can move pretty fucking quickly. But if the signs are clear that they're not interested in you, it's gonna be a couple weeks. Like, it'll be a couple weeks until somebody actually dies, or not dies, but if the interest dies or something like that. Because women are just like that. And so, but if they're like genuinely into you, it could be fucking months. But they could be into you and shit like that, and you wouldn't have any idea. But if it's, and things could move pretty quickly. The thing I fucking noticed is that when women meet men who are attracted to a certain kind of dude, or they want things to move now quickly, but there's some of us out here who actually value time. And that's the whole thing that women don't understand, is that most of us dudes, we can be into you and shit like that, but we don't rush into shit. I'm one of those dudes. I do not fucking rush into shit. I have rushed into like 3 of my past relationships, and all of them, and they all ended up fucking cheating on me. And so I am very cautious about that type of shit. And I'm a very, very hard shell to fucking crack. And if you actually want genuinely fucking want me, like, you have to work for it. Like, you have to give me a reason to give a fuck about you. And, that's the whole thing. Is that, women want shit, you know, women wants, shit to move, like, within the first couple of days, the first week. But, it just doesn't, for some of us dudes, it just don't fucking work like that. And that's the problem. And so, this girl seems kind of reserved, and, it generally seems like she's kind of waiting for me, but I'm probably not going to do anything about it because, you know, I, I barely have fucking shit going for myself here. A lot of people, I've told my dad, now, like I was saying, I fucking everybody, my mom, my dad, my fucking brother, they all want to know about this fucking girl now. And, and I have my coworker, confirm it, like, oh, she fucks with you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I think she's just being friendly, and I think, probably fucking flirtatious by nature, because some women are actually kind of fucking like that. But the thing that's, keeping me, reeled into her is that she's doing shit for me. Um, like on Friday, I couldn't charge my equipment that I usually run at work. And, she's like, oh, when I come in tomorrow, I'll put it on, the charger for you and everything like that. And, I think she might have, did some work for me, um, unloading a trailer, but she didn't admit it. But, and, uh, she, unloaded some fucking pallets, of stuff that needed to be checked, from some fucking bullshit that I'm not even going to talk about. But, yeah, she's been kind of doing shit for me. But that's all what she's been kind of doing, is just, just kind of giving me those looks, and just, finding, time to, have surface levels talks, and, just kind of trying to talk to me and everything like that. And, I'm always hanging around this coworker of mine because, he's cool as fuck. But, he's only a kid. He's only 19, but, he's cool as fuck. But Friday was interesting, because I think she, talked to him or something like that. I'm not sure what the whole thing about that is. I think I'm probably gonna find out tomorrow, and then I'll probably end up doing another follow-up fucking video with this shit. But, right now, it's just been fucking crazy, man. It's been driving me fucking crazy, as of recently, and I just can't. I don't know what to do. Um, I'm trying to. I got something put into my head that, she's probably not that into me. I think she's just like attracted to me or something like that, but she don't really want nothing with me. It's just the natural nature of, women just, being attracted to dudes and shit like that. But now, I told myself, like, I wasn't, I'm not gonna fucking do this. I'm only here to work, to get the games on the channel that, I told you guys about. But now, um, now I'm starting to, think about shit. Now I have to find a way to fucking, get out of it without quitting my fucking job, because that's how I usually do it. Is that I really don't fucking care, about the job. But there's always a reason that, it keeps me there. And, as of right now, she's the only fucking reason I'm still there. And, I'm actually kind of starting to like this job a little bit. So now I have to find a way to get the fuck out of it without quitting my goddamn job, which is harder on its own. And, just hopefully the interest dies, and she moves on to, somebody else who's working with her, working there, or something like that. Or if a fucking new person comes in and she, gets attracted to that person, I don't know. But I'm trying to figure out a way to get the fuck out of it. And, again, I always put myself in this situation that I cannot get out of. And I, like, every fucking job, like every job I've been at, I've put myself in this fucking situation, and I always end up quitting my job to get out of those type of situations, and it's been fucking hard. And so I have to find some type of fucking way to get out of it without, quitting my job. If she starts, you know, trying to talk to my coworker or something. But if she starts doing that, I know for a fact that she's trying to do it to make me fucking jealous. Like, that's obvious. Um, but if if she starts doing that or starts talking to someone else, like, I would fucking care less, because, I'm there to fucking work. I'm there to make fucking money, and I'm there just to, try to, get the hands on the channel. And so, and possibly maybe save up for a car, or get my own place in this fucking shithole I'm in now. But only time will tell. I'm still kind of optimistic about it, but as of right now, I'm actually, you know it's kind of up to her to reestablish where she stands with me at this point. But I just kind of jumped into it thinking maybe that, oh, I'm gonna finally fucking do something with my life. But I'm starting to, start to see fucking clearly now that, I'm probably being treated as a fucking option. And, that's not, no, that's not cool. And I don't fuck with that. And so, yeah, now I have to find a way to get out of it without quitting my job. So, that's gonna be harder. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video. This video was longer than intended to. But as always, I can always say that shit. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you guys have any type of advice, or anything that you guys can give me, or how to fucking navigate through this situation I'm in, this predicament. But yeah, I think that's about it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.